Okay, let's just jump right in. We hear about the next big thing in skincare all the time, but, you know, it feels like something is really fundamentally changing right now. Did you know that regenerative treatments using, of all things, salmon DNA have seen a staggering 121% growth rate just this year?
That statistic is, it's so much more than just market growth. It's a signal, a really profound shift in the whole beauty industry, I think. We're moving away from just, surface level fixes.
Exactly, toward what's actually happening in our cells. And that's why we're here. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, our mission is pretty laser-focused. We're going to unpack the 10 biggest skincare trends that are really defining 2025. And forget those complicated 10-step routines for a minute. The future is all about scientific precision.
Right, and it's this amazing convergence of biotechnology, real dermatological science, and surprisingly, a lot of ancestral wisdom that's being proven out by science. The goal has totally shifted. It's not about looking airbrushed anymore. It's about building long-term skin resilience, real cellular health.
That's the key word, resilience.
Mm.
And for you, the learner, who wants to get up to speed on this fast, we're going to go way beyond the buzzwords. We're aiming for those aha moments.
And a big part of that aha is that consumers are driving this. They're tired of quick fixes and, ingredient hopping that just ends up damaging their skin. They're investing in things that are proven to work on a molecular level.
I couldn't agree more. So here's how we're going to structure our deep dive today. We're going to break it into 4 parts. We have to start with the foundation, which is barrier health. Because if that's not right, nothing else you buy is going to work properly.
It's just fighting an uphill battle.
Right. Then we'll jump into the really exciting stuff, the biotech revolution. We're talking salmon DNA, exosomes. After that, we'll look at how at-home tech is making professional results more accessible. And finally, we'll wrap up with global trends and even environmental factors.
And we'll be hitting some of those jaw-dropping growth stats along the way. I mean, 557% for one category. That tells you where the science and the smart money are going.
Let's do it. Let's jump straight in. Okay, so if there is one single shift that defines 2025, I think it's this. The aggressive exfoliation era is officially over.
Oh, absolutely.
For years, we were taught that if it's burning or stinging, it must be working.
Yeah.
We now know that's just the fastest way to irritate your skin.
And that recognition is why trend number 1 is a total scientific commitment to skin barrier and microbiome health. It's non-negotiable now. And to really get this, we have to talk about the star player here, the stratum corneum.
Okay, so break that down for us. What is the stratum corneum?
It's the outermost layer of your skin. The simplest way to think about it, and it's a great analogy, is to picture a brick wall. That's your stratum corneum. It's the boundary between you and the outside world.
I love that. A brick wall. So what are the bricks and what's the mortar holding it all together?
So the bricks are your skin cells, the corneocytes. But the mortar, and this is the crucial part, is the lipid matrix all around them. It's made of cholesterol, fatty acids, and especially ceramides. That mortar is what holds it all together and keeps water in and irritants out.
And what happens when that mortar starts to, crack and break down?
The main thing is something called transepidermal water loss, or TEWL.
TEWL.
Yeah, it's the technical term for water basically just evaporating right out of your skin through that compromised barrier. And that's why your skin feels dry, tight, and sensitive.
But it goes deeper than just feeling dry.
Oh, much deeper. When that barrier is leaky, all sorts of things get in that shouldn't. Pollutants, allergens. And that penetration triggers this low-level chronic inflammation deep in the skin, which we now know is a huge driver of conditions like eczema, rosacea, and definitely accelerated aging.
You're basically leaving your skin defenseless.
Completely.
So if the barrier is everything, the focus must now be on ingredients that, rebuild that wall.
Precisely. And the ingredients taking over the market are the actual structural components of that wall.
Let's get into them. What's the most important one? The absolute core component.
You have to start with ceramides. They make up about 50% of that lipid mortar we were talking about. Think of them as the concrete in the foundation. When you apply them topically, you're literally patching the holes in your barrier.
And what about the big multitasker? The one that seems to do a bit of everything.
That would have to be niacinamide, vitamin B3. It's great for inflammation, yes, but it also stimulates your skin to produce its own ceramides. So the repair is happening from the inside out.
Ah, so it's not just a patch. It's helping the skin fix itself.
Exactly. And then you've got your pure hydration.
Hyaluronic acid.
Hyaluronic acid, or HA. But it's gotten more sophisticated. It's not just one molecule anymore. The best formulas now use multi-molecular weight HA. The big molecules sit on top for surface hydration, and the smaller ones go deeper to hydrate from within.
That's smart. Okay, and finally, this idea of the skin as an ecosystem, the microbiome.
Right. Healthy skin isn't sterile, it's covered in good bacteria. And to support that ecosystem, we're seeing a huge rise in prebiotics and postbiotics.
Okay, what's the difference between the two?
So prebiotics are like the fertilizer. They're the food that helps the good bacteria on your skin flourish. Postbiotics are the beneficial things that those good bacteria produce, like peptides and short-chain fatty acids.
So you're giving them the food and also the beneficial byproducts.
You're basically cultivating a healthy garden on your skin, and that garden is critical for maintaining the right pH level.
The acid mantle.
The acid mantle, yes. It needs to be slightly acidic, around 4.5 to 5.5. Harsh soaps throw that off completely, but pre- and postbiotics help keep it in that optimal protective zone.
So the big message is stop stripping, start supporting. That barrier-first philosophy is the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about.
It really is.
Okay, so if that was about rebuilding the foundation, this next part is about bringing in the high-tech power tools. This is where we get into the heavy hitters of cellular regeneration.
And this is where the industry is seeing explosive growth. Consumers want real biological change, not just, something that covers up the problem.
So let's start with the one that sounds the most sci-fi, salmon DNA.
Trend number 2, salmon DNA, or PDRN, used in treatments like Regerin. And that 121% growth rate we mentioned, it shows this is being adopted really, really quickly.
But why salmon? What is PDRN, polydeoxyribonucleotide, actually doing?
So PDRN is basically purified fragments of DNA. It's sourced from salmon because it's highly compatible with our own tissue. And the key thing to understand is it's not changing your DNA. It acts as a signaling molecule. It tells your cells what to do.
What kind of signals is it sending?
It binds to specific receptors on your skin cells, and that kicks off this whole cascade of responses. It tells your fibroblasts, hey, wake up and start making more collagen and elastin.
So it's fundamentally different from a filler. A filler just adds volume.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is restorative. PDRN signals the tissue to self-repair and rebuild its own structure. The skin actually gets thicker and healthier over time.
Okay, but I'm a bit skeptical here. We just talked about how important the barrier is.
Yeah.
How does a big molecule like PDRN get through it when it's just in a topical serum?
That is the million-dollar question, and it's all about the delivery system. For a topical PDRN to work, it has to be encapsulated in something, usually a liposome, to shuttle it deep enough into the skin to actually work. The effectiveness of the product is 100% dependent on that delivery tech.
Fascinating. Okay, so if 121% was impressive, the next one is just astronomical.
Trend 3 is exosomes for deep cellular repair. This is, without a doubt, the fastest growing category. We're talking a 557% growth rate.
557%? That's insane.
Yeah.
So what on earth are exosomes?
Okay, the simplest way to think of them is like tiny encrypted messenger packets sent from one cell to another, or like a biological USB drive. They're usually derived from stem cells, and they're loaded with instructions.
What kind of instructions?
Growth factors, proteins, and most importantly, different types of microRNA.
MicroRNA.
Yeah, they're little bits of genetic material that don't make proteins, but they regulate which of your genes get turned on or off. So an exosome will merge with an aging skin cell and deliver this payload of microRNAs that essentially reprogram it. It tells the cell, stop being old and inflamed, start acting young and producing quality collagen.
Wow. So it's not just a signal, it's delivering a whole new set of operating instructions.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's triggering repair at a much deeper, more fundamental level than almost anything else.
But being a biological thing, they must be really fragile. How do they stay stable in a product on a shelf?
That is the main challenge. In a clinic, they're often freeze-dried and reconstituted right before use. For consumer products, the race is on to perfect that technology so they stay viable. It's incredibly complex stuff.
This all naturally brings us back to the old gold standard, which is trying to, keep up.
Right, which is trend number 4, gentle retinol formulations. Retinol is still the king for proven anti-aging results, but the irritation, the redness, the peeling, it's a huge issue for people.
So what's the solution for people who want the benefits without, wrecking their barrier?
The solution is all in the delivery system. The new wave of retinols are all about being encapsulated, buffered, or time release.
Explain encapsulation. How does putting the retinol in a little bubble change things?
So encapsulation does two things. First, it protects the retinol from degrading, so it stays potent. But second, and this is the key part for irritation, it controls the release.
So it doesn't just hit your skin all at once.
Exactly. Instead of a big, irritating blast of retinol, the encapsulated version releases it slowly over hours and deeper in the skin. This dramatically reduces the side effects while still giving you all the benefits.
And it's interesting that K-beauty brands, who always stayed away from harsh ingredients, are now leading the charge on this.
It makes perfect sense. Their whole philosophy is barrier first. So by perfecting gentle retinol, they're proving you can have powerful actives without sacrificing skin health. You can have both.
The barrier really is the gatekeeper for all of these powerful new technologies. So we've covered the science in the bottle. Now let's talk about the tech in our bathrooms. We're moving from serums to devices that bring med spa results home.
And this is so important for consistency. You can have the best treatment in the world, but if you only do it once every 6 months, the results won't last. At-home tech makes consistent use possible.
Let's start with the one we're all seeing everywhere. Trend number 5, red light therapy, or RLT, going mainstream. 59% growth. What's behind this explosion?
It's really a mix of better technology and more solid clinical data backing it up. We're not talking about magic here. It's about applying specific wavelengths of energy to your cells.
Okay, so let's get into that science. How does shining a red light on your face actually build collagen?
So we're talking about specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light. They penetrate deep enough into your skin to reach the mitochondria.
The powerhouses of the cell. I remember that from biology class.
The powerhouses, exactly. And the light energy gets absorbed by an enzyme in there, which basically ramps up the production of ATP.
ATP is the cell's fuel.
It's the fuel. So you're literally giving your skin cells, especially the fibroblasts that make collagen, a massive energy boost to do their job better and faster.
So more energy means more repair, less inflammation, and more collagen.
That's the core mechanism. And the benefit of doing it at home every day is that the cumulative effect can really start to rival what you'd get from less frequent, much more expensive clinical treatments.
But are all these at-home masks you see online created equal? Are they powerful enough to actually work?
That's where you have to be a smart consumer. Efficacy depends on the irradiance, the power output of the light. A lot of cheaper devices are basically just red-colored toys. The real growth is in high-quality devices that deliver a clinically effective dose of energy.
Good to know. Okay, so from light therapy for everyone, we move to something that's the complete opposite, hyper-personalization.
And that takes us to trend number 6, AI-driven personalization. The idea here is that the one-size-fits-all approach is just incredibly wasteful.
We've all been there, wasting money on a product that everyone on social media loves, but it does nothing for our skin. How does AI fix that?
AI can analyze your skin with a level of detail that the human eye just can't. It uses your phone's camera or smart mirrors to collect all these data points.
What kind of data are we talking about?
Things like hydration levels,
Yeah.
the exact type and location of pigmentation, pore size, fine lines. It maps everything with mathematical precision.
So it's not just guessing if you're dry or oily.
No, it's giving you hard data. And then it feeds that data into an algorithm that recommends a specific routine or even custom compounded formulas just for you. If it sees inflammation and high water loss, it will prioritize ceramides. If it sees early collagen loss, it will suggest encapsulated retinol.
So it's basically like having a dermatologist in your phone, constantly analyzing and adjusting your routine.
That's the goal. It takes the expensive and frustrating guesswork out of the equation, so you only invest in products that are going to work for your specific biology.
I love that. Okay, so for our last segment, let's zoom out a bit and look at how lifestyle and global trends are shaping our routines.
Right, because consumers want products that are effective, but also convenient and authentic.
Which leads perfectly into trend number 7, hybrid and multifunctional products, or, skinimalism. The 10-step routine feels overwhelming now.
It can be. And we now know that layering too many products can actually irritate your skin. So the demand is for fewer products that do more.
It's about blurring that line between skincare and makeup.
Totally. We're seeing these amazing hybrid formulas now, like a tinted SPF that also has therapeutic levels of niacinamide and ceramides, or a foundation that's packed with hyaluronic acid and peptides.
Why would you put on a layer of makeup that just sits there when it could be actively improving your skin all day?
Exactly. Health is the new aesthetic. It aligns perfectly with that no makeup look. You're enhancing your skin's health, not just covering it up.
Speaking of aesthetics, we have to talk about K-beauty. Trend number 8, its influence is just not going away. What's the latest innovation for getting that glass skin look?
K-beauty is all about the experience, making skincare enjoyable so that you actually stick with it. And they're masters of innovating new textures and formats.
What are the big ones we're seeing right now?
Two things are really taking off. First, jelly mists. They're these thick, serum-like sprays that combine your toner and essence step into one. Super hydrating, super refreshing.
And the second one is toner pads.
Yes, toner pads. Pre-soaked cotton pads that deliver a concentrated dose of an active ingredient. It could be a gentle acid for exfoliation or a hydrating essence. It just makes applications so simple and precise,
It's all about making good habits easy.
which leads to better compliance and better results.
Okay, now for a trend that seems like the total opposite of high-tech biotech, but it's seeing just as much explosive growth. Trend number 9, farm-to-face and ancestral ingredients.
And this isn't a rejection of science. It's about consumers demanding that science validate traditional wisdom. People want transparency. They want to know the story behind an ingredient.
And what's the most surprising ingredient in this category that's making a huge comeback?
We're seeing a lot of fermented extracts, mushrooms, rice extract, but the absolute headliner is beef tallow moisturizers. They saw 472% growth.
472% for beef tallow. Okay, you have to explain the science behind that. How does that connect back to our barrier repair conversation?
It connects perfectly. Tallow is incredibly effective because its lipid profile is remarkably similar to our own skin's natural oils, our sebum. That makes it extremely biocompatible.
So our skin just recognizes it and knows what to do with it.
Precisely. It's packed with fat-soluble vitamins and the exact types of fatty acids that are perfect for rebuilding that lipid matrix, that mortar in our brick wall. It's ancient wisdom meeting modern lipid science.
But with that kind of growth, is it sustainable? I mean, isn't the whole point that it's small batch and transparent?
That's the tension right there. The demand for authentic, well-sourced tallow is huge. If it becomes industrialized, it loses the very story that made it so appealing in the first place.
A tough challenge. Okay, let's wrap up with what the source material calls the most underrated viral hack of 2025. Trend number 10, water quality and environmental control.
This one is so critical because it addresses the silent saboteur that can undermine everything else we've talked about. We spend all this money on amazing serums, and then we wash our face with water that's actively damaging our skin.
What's the problem with regular tap water?
Two main things. First, chlorine. It's used to disinfect the water, but it's also a chemical that strips your skin's natural oils and damages the lipids in your barrier.
So it's an enemy of the barrier. And what about hard water?
Hard water is full of minerals like calcium and magnesium. They can leave a film on your skin, but more importantly, they can raise your skin's pH, disrupting that delicate acid mantle.
And if your acid mantle is constantly being thrown off, your skin's defenses are just permanently weakened.
Exactly. Your expensive products are just constantly fighting an uphill battle. It's like building a beautiful house on a crumbling foundation.
So the simple solution is a water filter.
A simple shower or tap filter. They are becoming essential beauty tools. By removing those harsh chemicals and minerals, you're protecting your acid mantle and allowing all those incredible products, the ceramides, the exosomes, to actually do their job.
It's probably the highest return on investment you can make for your skin.
Absolutely.
Wow. We have covered so much ground today. From the microscopic world of microRNAs to something as simple as filtering your water.
I think the big takeaway is that the future is in cosmeceuticals. Products that bridge that gap between proven therapeutic results and an elegant, enjoyable cosmetic experience.
So to recap the big themes for you, the learner, it's all about barrier integrity first, then embracing targeted biotech like exosomes, and finally, leveraging personalization through things like AI and at-home tech like red light therapy.
And these aren't just fads. This is about investing in the long-term structural health of your skin.
Okay, before we sign off, let's give everyone 3 actionable tips, things you can do right now based on what we've talked about.
First, go look at your cleanser right now. If it leaves your skin feeling squeaky clean, it's too harsh. You are stripping your barrier. Switch to something gentle that supports that slightly acidic pH.
Good one. Second,
If you're buying a powerful active, especially retinol, look for the words encapsulated, buffered, or time release on the label. Get the benefits without the barrier damage.
and the third one.
And third, really, seriously consider your water quality as part of your skincare routine. An inexpensive water filter might be the single best thing you do for your skin this year. It protects your investment and everything else.
It all comes back to that. True skin health is built on consistency, science, and a holistic view of your environment.
And that leads to one final thought for you to take away. If environmental controls, like water filters, are this important, what other daily habits, things you don't even think of as skincare, might be secretly sabotaging your routine? Your pillowcase, your laundry detergent. You have to think about your entire environment.
That is a great challenge. We always have to look beyond the bottle. Thank you so much for diving deep with us into the future of skin health. You can find links to all our sources in the show notes. We'll see you next time.